Before starting this video, for those wondering what the hell is a puzzle video, there are clues hidden in the video for you to solve. If you get the answer correct, then you'll win an in-game prize. So, as is the norm, I'll be giving away a skin for which all of you can enter. This time it's an Emporium chest roll, and to enter for that you just use the link in the description. If you do get the answer correct for the puzzle, then you'll be entered for a Kinessa Noah Strike set. Puzzle videos will last for 2 weeks from the upload date, so all the best, and enter your answers in the Google forum below. Now, let's begin. You know you've really picked up a good topic in the Paladins universe when people are rushing towards making lore videos after the release of Brightmarsh. I mean, come on people, try a bit harder. What do you want? Do you want people to just put the answer right in front of your eyes?
Hello and welcome everybody! Crystals have power! Especially in Paladins, where they're across the game, in the title, and even their premium currency. And what I want to talk about today was a bit of lore theory, and some of the new developments.
Well, okay then. So my exams are over and this means that I have a lot of time left over to make more videos. So here I am saving you from one bad lore at a time. Now, if you want to read a really good lore theory about Brightmarsh, the new map, then go to /r/Paladins lore, where my trusty partner Nauron has made a detailed post, with pictures included, about the ecosystem, hierarchy and the general layout of Brightmarsh. If I did make a video about that, then it would be pretty similar, if not fully similar. But with the sudden influx of lore theorists, there are a lot of videos and articles on Brightmarsh itself. So rather than focusing on some shiny new toy, let's take a look at some vintage collectibles, if the analogy makes sense. So I have a question for you. If all of the champions were bought out in the real world, who do you think will be the strongest? Well, if you ask me, then my money would be on the Danger Noodle, aka Maldumba.
Why?
Well, for starters, I don't see anything without researching it first, so you can just take my word for it, mute this tab and let it play in the background until the video ends, which kind of helps me in the process. Or if you want to listen to some unnecessary digging over some pixels and how it could have a deeper story which doesn't really impact your life at the end of the day, then continue watching. Let's start with a broader term and then we work on it one step at a time. My initial theory is Maldumba is actually a spirit god, Wikono, that is currently inside the body of Maldumba. Pretty ballsy claim if I may add, even by my standards. Now, let's work on the details. Firstly, let's look at the title of Maldumba, Wikono's Chosen. While nothing is mentioned about Wikono outside Maldumba, a Twitter post from the voice actor of Maldumba, called Marcus Malden, makes sense of what Maldumba says during the ultimate. Son da Wikono. In his reply on Twitter to a fan, he says the following words. Glad you're #enjoying the ancient, mysterious, magical druid / Maldumba. His language comes from the evil spirit / Wikono #paladins. Okay, that's one thing down. Another would be voice lines. So once you kill Androxus, he says the following lines.
You can kill gods, but not spirits.
As we all know by now, Androxus is known as the God Slayer, and this is a reference directly to that. Final voice line is when he kills Makoa, the Ancient.
I too wield ancient might.
So while this seems generic, it helps us in a weird way. Makoa is classified as a frontliner, and without spoiling too much of a future theory, Makoa is one of the 4 protectors of the realm with this ancient power. So if you want to try and uncover more of this future theory, then I would suggest taking a closer look at the volcanic Makoa skin shield. So back to the theory, possessing an ancient power is a pretty bold claim. Voice lines aside, there are quite a few more graphical clues that Maldumba is not normal. Firstly, his face is always covered. This could be hiding the fact that the body of Maldumba is actually possessed by the spirit, and most essentially masks this at a real and a spiritual level. While I would love to brag about how I thought of this, it was actually suggested by Nauron. Not gonna lie, I was pretty impressed by this claim and sort of pissed that I didn't think of this first. Secondly, consider the snake. I mean, if Maldumba was brought out in real life, I doubt he could chuck snakes and immediately get a new one from his sleeve, unless he somehow has 100 snakes hidden in there. Something else is at play here. Luckily, and I don't know if there's a coincidence, but if you have the magic trick emote equipped, you can see that the snake isn't a snake at all. seriously though, the snake is alive. When you throw the snake at a wall, you don't see a snake obey the laws of physics. The snake just vanishes in a weird cloud. So if we are to assume that Vukono is actually a spirit that has possessed the body of Maldamba, then the snake is an extension of the spirit, and that makes sense. Finally, we look at the card art. When I had my exams, a lot of card art was added, which replaced all of the temporary art. And with that, I don't think there's going to be any more card art changes, which I would assume is a safe bet. But then again, a bet is a bet, and there's always a risk with a bet. Anywho, card arts are a pretty good place to look if you want to look at a character's backstory. While I won't go through all of the card art, I mean I could, but both you and I know that that would be way too long. So let's break it down to two main cards. The first one is called Spirit Touch. I mean, there isn't much to explain here, that just solidifies my point of Snake not being real. What we also see here is Maldamba with still his mask, but he has a noticeably nice body. Compared to now where he's pretty skinny, so this possession has certainly changed him, and you can also kind of guess that he's been possessed for a long time. Secondly, if you haven't guessed the second card, then literally shame on you. It's literally called Possession, and you know, just take a look. It speaks for itself. Now, before I finish, I would like to add something on Maldamba. Now Ron, if you're watching this, you can switch off right now because you know exactly what I'm going to say. While now Ron and I do agree on most things, there are a few things we don't agree on because of a lack of concrete evidence. So this is one of them. Now, while I was doing some research on Vukono and it turns out he isn't really real. Well, yeah, Hi-Rez made him. But when I was researching Maldamba, I found something interesting. Maldamba isn't real, so, you know, whoop-de-doo. But Damballa is. Turns out Damballa is an African loa. So from my limited research, because there isn't enough research done about this topic, loa in the African culture are a bridge between the gods and the people. So think of a loa as a divine middleman. Now, this is where I get conflicting evidence. Some sources say Damballa is a divine messenger, while some say he is a spirit god. So I can't see anything with too much confidence. Well, just a name resemblance isn't juicy enough. Damballa is often referred to as a serpent spirit. What is Maldamba's ultimate again?
Quadra kill.
Yeah, the similarities don't just stop here. For example, this is what the source says. When he possesses a human, he does not speak, but instead only hisses and whistles. His movements are also snake-like and he can, including slithering along the ground and flicking his tongue. Curious. Now, I'm not going to say that Maldamba and Damballa are exact copies, but you can't deny there are some similarities. If anything, Maldamba is based on Damballa and that's actually great news. This means in the future we can see a lot more interesting champions with backgrounds in different culture. What this also shows is Hi-Rez's diversity in cultural knowledge. Maybe Smite may see an African pantheon? Who knows, but if we do see it, remember I said it here first. Now, I'm British, but I was born in India, so you know, don't ask me anymore if I'm Indian in literally all of my videos. So, me being British, well, Indian born British, I can't see much about the African culture, and all of this knowledge is from very few sources. But if you happen to know, then do correct me. I'm not claiming what I said above is 100% right. It's just what I could find. So champions, that should now be the end of the video. Tell me what you think in the comments about Maldamba being a god, or not. This is theorizing after all, and the only thing limiting us is our knowledge. Well, until Hi-Rez confirms a lot of these things. So if this video is out of date in the future, you know why, and you can see how close I was and how far, etc, etc. If you liked the video, then do like it, and if you didn't like it, then the dislike button is there too. If you want to see more videos, which includes sometimes lore, explaining game mechanics, guides, and just some random videos, then consider subscribing as well. It helps me out and you don't miss on any of my newer videos. Till next time champions, or theorists, I will see you all in the realm.